I'm sure a lot of people kind of expected you to join Rick Ross and Maybach Music, or maybe Lil Wayne and YMCMB, because y'all have such a close relationship. So how did the partnership with Grand Hustle come about and T.I.?
Me and T.I., we've been cool for a minute, man. Like, I used to do little mixtapes called Slab, Slow Loud and Bang. And he actually was on one of them a long time ago, man. So, you know, we go way back. We just were more partners when we seen each other. We'd scream and do our thing. But, you know, they say, man, in life, everything about time. So, you know, he came home. We had hollered when he was actually locked up. And he came home, man. He hollered at me one day. We chopped it up, and, you know, I went out there, and we both basically had the same vision. And, I mean, long story short is he believed in what I had going like I believed in what I had going. So, you know, it was genuine. So I couldn't do nothing but stand up.
One of the groups, of course, that you helped found was Gorilla Mob. And I remember the first time I first heard Q Watching Me, my first question was, why are they rapping so fast?
Everybody used to think like that. Screw seen something different, though. Screw really was behind it. He seen something that others didn't see. And now look at everybody trying to rap fast, slow, do the singing and everything else. I mean, it is what it is.
Gorilla Mob did represent something that wasn't really being represented on the Houston scene, and that was a lot of the struggle. What was it like for DJ Screw specifically to co-sign what Gorilla Mob represented?
I mean, you know, he was a legend within himself, man, but on side of that was my partner, man. And, you know, like with some of my people, even to this day, some of the people who I'm close with, like family, it don't necessarily be about music. So the relationship I had with him was never basically on this move with the music or that move, which most definitely played his part. But on side of it, just as helping build me as a person and, you know, keeping me focused and keeping me confident when you would hear people say, man, don't nobody necessarily want to hear that fast rapping or that struggle rapping. You know, he would keep well, I can speak for myself. He'd keep me grounded and focused and let me know, just keep pumping, man. It's all about timing. You know, it's never guaranteed it's going to be overnight. Never guaranteed it's going to be around the corner. It might be on that long journey you got to hike, but at the same time, it's all about timing. And I stayed grounded with it, man.
I saw in the interview you said that when you heard yourself on the Screw tape, it was like you finally made it.
Yeah, because, you know, back then we didn't think, I know I didn't. I wasn't thinking about no radio back then. Back then, you go get the Screw tapes and wait to see what song would come on. Because, you know, you wouldn't have a track list. And that was the amazing of it. You just wait to hear it. Sometimes one of your hardest jams would come on. But when you wired up like that and then you get to hearing it and then you hear yourself come on, that's like a whole, that take you, you know, from being one of his number one fans to just, I don't know, it was just a crazy feeling. And then on top of you hearing that, you got to think of how many other people, when you come out and you hear somebody riding by banging the latest new Screw tape, and everybody got it, and your song is what you hear when they riding by. Like it was crazy, man. That was just like my first time being seen on MTV or something like that. Like, it's just a different feeling.
Since we're talking about the Houston culture, it's a lot of artists now that people think capitalize off of the culture of Houston, like Drake and A$AP Rocky. Do you think that there's something necessarily wrong with what they're doing, or are they just fans of
the
same thing that we grew up on?
I'm going to tell you two things. It's probably going to be my first and last time, because people know when I do my interviews, I don't like basing my opinion about nothing other than what I got going on, because at the end of the day, my opinion is my opinion. Everybody's not going to agree with my opinion. And, you know, sometimes people take it out of proportion. But I will answer this to you since it is you. You know, at the end of the day, it's like this. I feel like sometimes people can be fans of a culture. And if they are fans of a culture or a movement, long as they get a proper recognition, then I don't see it really being a problem, because I don't like A$AP Rocky, one of my little homies. But if you listen to what he's saying in his music, he shouts out Houston all the time. If you listen to some of his interviews, he let it be known. So at the end of the day, like, it's no purpose for me to be mad at that. Like, he gave the proper respect to the proper people. So, like, what else is it to do? When NWA and Q came out with Dickies, you can tell a nigga like, I can't rock no Dickies or no T's and Chucks, because I ain't from there. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like sometimes people can feel movements and people can believe in certain movements and feel they want to stand up and play a part in that. As long as they do it, you know, it's ways of doing it. As long as they do it the right way, it shouldn't really be an issue. Now, if a nigga come out saying, yeah, this such, I started this all about me, then, okay, now you disrespecting the game. You see what I'm saying? Then, yeah, I got all the right to have problems with that. But I don't see that happening. And plus, not only that, everybody knows, like, who don't know the Houston sound? Like, you got to know that. That's a sound that's going to be in history for the rest of life. And then you go, I mean, look from the grills to the candy paint to just period. I mean, to the white cups. I mean, it's just like, it's so much stuff. Houston always going to play a part in the culture. It's just because one thing about Houston itself, they naturally got their own way that they do things, their own culture, their own vibe of how they move around. You know what I'm saying? Just like every other city and every other coast do. You know, sometimes stuff sticks, sometimes stuff don't. You know, I actually just teamed up with Habitat for Humanity. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what that is. But I'm actually one of the advocates for it, meaning I'm the face of it that's actually going to bring awareness to it, and I'm gonna get a lot of people who's in less fortunate situations outlets to have a better situation. You know, it's like we made a partnership that's gonna make sense, man. And tomorrow we actually gonna announce the partnership. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff for a lot of stuff within the community, a lot of stuff for the kids, a lot of stuff for a lot of the elders, just different types of stuff we got going on, man.
Kind of building on what you did for Cliff's birthday?
No, that's
when you guys built a home for the families?
Yeah, that was Cliff Holiday. That was actually Cliff Day. But what happened was, yeah, we ended up doing that, and you know, we just we ended up taking a liking to each other, and they actually started seeing a vision that I had as well as me seeing a vision that they had. And I mean, we both play a part. We play a major part within the community together. You know, as far as me with the younger aspect and the street aspect, to them with what they're actually doing for the families and, you know, and different stuff like that. So I feel combining them, it can only get better for people. You know, some people that have been sitting in apartments struggling their whole life, or probably don't even necessarily have a place to go and didn't know that they actually qualify where they can actually have their own home. Because you know, it's every person's dream actually where you can get your kids to have their own place to lay their head. So, you know, I'm actually going to bring awareness to where we can show others that, you know, you can. It's things that can be done. And knowing me, just the love that I got, I'm going to always find a way to make something happen. So I think it's going to be a crazy partnership, man.
And if a nigga don't like it, tell the bitches I rep Texas topless in this slab, I come through.
Elbows and vogues and expensive clothes, candy paint our cars, big booties on our hoes.
Got dollars and I'm out still representing the South with the truck up, bitch, I'm swinging fools.
I sip codeine at the styrofoam, 2017 is the kind of grind I'm on.
I ain't never love a bitch, so I ride alone. Probably why the niggas ain't kinda shine them on.
Big dually trucks with the big grills and the Cadillacs with the fifth wheel.
We from the hood and we keep still. If you try to jack, you gon' get killed.
I don't wear my britches tight, I wear them loose. Active athlete for all my footwear, homie, I've got too many shoes.
I'm the man in my city, tell them niggas I won't lose. Force and Patty, my nigga, how we still gon' chunk the dude.